Make a Path presents Let's Talk. Welcome to Make a Path Presents. My name is Ronnie Hayes, and today, Let's Talk. Has Negan already met Alpha? Or has Negan already had a run-in with the Whispers? Alright, Deadheads, listen, I was putting together another The Walking Dead comic cover video. I love doing those, and I started thinking about something that has been bothering me since issue 140. Negan was getting washed up, and he showed his scar, and he told Olivia, hey, if you behave, or if you're good, I'll tell you the story that goes along with this scar. Now, that always got to me, because one of the rules when I was studying screenwriting, one of the rules that they cram down your throat is you always show a gun on a table, only if you're going to use that gun. It's called a setup, and the payoff comes later. Sometimes it could be 20 issues, sometimes it could be the very next issue. Now, I know that scar has to be set up, but is that set up for an important story? Or is it set up for just kind of a word of wisdom kind of story? What I'm thinking, and I'm having a little fun with this, just spitballing an idea, and I'm going to run it by you guys. What if they threw in the whole Negan could have escaped plot just for some character development between Rick and Negan, because it comes into play because of his scar? Now, how would that come into play, you ask me? Well, let's break this down. Okay, Rick and them rode off to find Carl. Let's say they rode off and they find a couple Whispers or whatever and they kill them, or they might even not even find anything and they come back. I know Alpha's there, and I don't want to mix up the predictions or mix up any ideas, so we're going to forget about Alpha right now. She's just gathering intel. Let's just leave her off to the side. So Rick gets back. We need to connect some reason why he would be talking in front of Negan about the Whispers, about Carl going missing. It has to come up somehow. We always know that Rick checks in on Negan all the time when he comes back, but with Carl missing and him not being able to find him, would he check in on him? Let's say Rick does go check in on Negan. Rick is stressed out, he's agitated. Negan is like, oh, what is wrong? And Rick just says it because, it's conversation and what the hell, it doesn't hurt. So he's like, Carl's gone, there's these freaking psycho people wearing masks, and Negan could be like, wait a minute, I was stabbed by two crazy sons of bitches. Now, I do not believe it's realistic if he has a whole huge big battle with a Whisper tribe and a group and shit like that, but I do think it would be interesting if he did run into one or two. One of them might have cut him, and he just thought it was crazy people living among the walkers. It feels right if it was just a brush up with them, and they stabbed him, and maybe he killed the other two, and since they were just going through that area, they never had any run-ins with each other ever again. Or else this probably would have came up in conversation between him and Dwight or somebody. His scar could be a stab wound or a cut or a slice. Where it could come into play is what I'm saying is, if Negan says there's an area out there, that's where I got stabbed. What if they're living out there or close to the area I got stabbed in? Rick might not have any choice other than to bring Negan with him. Now we have Rick and Negan, and we do know, even though Negan is a piece of shit for killing Glenn, Negan would kill for Carl. I believe that. I feel that. I believe that if Rick came down and said, yeah, Carl is, in danger and he's over here and we can't find him, I believe Negan would go out and help, or with the search and rescue. I truly believe that, because it helps Negan and it feels like something Negan would do. You know what I mean? It helps Negan because he's trying to win Rick's trust. If you can't win some of his trust by saving his son, there's no hope for you. So I'm thinking maybe Rick can take Negan out on the road, but one thing I also find very interesting is the fact that what they do to the females at this tribe or the community. We saw Negan kill his own man over something that he tried to do to Holly. See what I'm saying? Check that out. They had Holly, a chick that he was going to kill, and he did kill anyway. He never allowed his man to do that, break that one rule. He even killed his man over it. I find it interesting that is such a strong characteristic of the Whispers. The rape goes on there. That was Negan's one rule. You don't ever do that. I just think that dynamic is very powerful. I could see Negan facing them somehow, or being anywhere near them somehow, finding out about that, seeing that, maybe someone gets drug off or however it transpires in that, community, and Negan just being like, oh, hell no, and slaughtering people. I'm just saying, that is how different Negan is from the Whisperers on that aspect. I don't believe he would let that go. So listen, guys, this is turning into a ramble session. I do not want that. I just wanted to put my thoughts down real quick on this idea I had. The basic idea is Negan would reveal to Rick where he got the scar, and it was the Whisperers, and Rick has to take Negan back out with him to look for Carl. This could be bonding between Rick and Negan. I'm not saying Rick will, forgive Negan or bond with him. It will be a hard, long process, but I think there's potential here for those two characters to go on a mission. Now, one thing that's sidetracking me right now is it's coming close to the end of Compendium 3. I know a lot of people are hoping we get some kind of, bloody showdown finale, but I tell you what, if they do go this interesting direction and still have some conflict and tension, I'm fine with that. I don't need a main character to die right now. I know I see a lot of comments where people just say, oh, it's been, how long? We need a main character to die. And I just think that is absolutely ridiculous. But listen, guys, that's my quick idea on how they can get Negan and Rick outside of the walls of Alexandria and start to bond a little more. Let me know what you think down in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.
Subscribe now.